James Taylor has enjoyed an exceptional musical career, noted for his longevity and its varied successes. Over the past 3 decades, James has won many of the music industry's most prestigious awards, including 3 Grammys and achievement goals and platinum record sales, which are extraordinary in folk blues and contemporary pop and R&B styles. The lyrics he writes provide an insight and poetic view of his life and the times in which we are all living. The musical breadth of his career, the quality of his creativity, and the musical craft are magnitudes which have been responded to very, very positive by audiences and peers alike. His presence with us today on this special occasion will be a memorable one indeed. And so it's with great pleasure that we now will hear from our commencement speaker, Mr. James Taylor.
Ladies and gentlemen of the graduating class of 1995, President Burke, assembled faculty, family members, well-wishers, and hangers-on, congratulations. I feel deeply honored to be with you here today and in such distinguished company. It's a beautiful day, and it was a lovely performance last night, very moving and very wonderful to feel included in it. I get the feeling that all over the country people are graduating and they're leaving one phase and moving on to another with a combined feeling of anxiety and elation. I feel it too. As we approach the millennium, the world itself is in a state of profound transition. And in these times and on this day, there's bound to be a lot of talk about music as a career, music as an industry, and the entertainment business. And that's fine, but I want to talk about music as spiritual food. I applaud and admire your decision to make music the focus and the center of your lives, because in spite of the increasing presence of corporate priorities in music today, it is not a safe career choice to become a musician. There are risks involved, and I think it's important to remember why we take those risks. My wife, Catherine, refers to this period of time that we're in now as high late capitalism, and I agree with her that it's characterized by a sort of a general ongoing attempt to put a dollar value on pretty much everything. In fact, as a culture, we seem to feel uneasy and skeptical about anything that doesn't have a number attached to it that represents money in the bank. I would just like to make one very simple and obvious point that was clear to me when I started out, but that has become more obscure as I've repeatedly taken myself to market. And that's simply that it's a gift. It's a blessing, and we really are the lucky ones to have music in our lives and at the center of things. Because as you know, music is the true soul food, and not that other stuff. You can criticize it, you can put a spin on it, you can analyze it and interpret it in terms of its cultural significance, but basically that doesn't affect music. Music is beyond the fashion of consensus reality, and basically it either connects with us or it doesn't. And because it follows the laws of the physical universe, it reminds us of the truth that lies beneath and beyond the illusion that we live in. It gives us relief from the insanity of constantly trying to invent ourselves. And in this way, music is true spiritual practice. I thank God for music, and I thank music for God. So render unto Caesar that which is Caesar's, but keep the money changers out of the temple, and keep music to yourself. I would advise you to keep your overhead down, avoid a major drug habit, play every day, and take it in front of other people. They need to hear it, and you need them to hear it. And persevere. The Japanese say, fall down 7 times and stand up 8 times. So remember why you chose this risky enterprise. Okay. Well, class of 95, carry on.
James Taylor is celebrated for his meteoric rise to fame, the quality of his musicianship, and his endurance at the pinnacle of the popular music industry. In a spectacular career which has spanned nearly 3 decades, he has garnered 3 platinum albums, 1 platinum single, 4 gold albums, and a gold single. He has won numerous honors, awards, and accolades from all quarters of the music industry, including 3 Grammy Awards. James Taylor has performed his music before millions of fans across the globe, and through his songs has been an important spokesperson for his generation. In his distinguished musical career, James Taylor has successfully and artfully touched a number of musical bases. Throughout, he has created distinctive recordings, from his folk and blues-inflected albums of the late 60s and early 70s, to his chart-topping renditions of chestnuts from the Rhythm and Blues Songbook, to the classic pop songs he continues to write, and the Grammy Award-winning children's album he recorded with the members of his musical family. James Taylor's musical influence is demonstrated by a brief mention of the many legendary artists who have recorded his songs. The list includes jazz legend Miles Davis, country star George Jones, and folk singer Tom Rush. In addition to his musical pursuits, James Taylor has been tirelessly engaged in raising the public's awareness of threats to the environment. He worked with Musicians United for Safer Energy, a roster of top musicians engaged in a public information campaign for safe energy. He is currently a spokesman for and a board member of the National Resources Defense Council, better known as NRDC, which has worked to pass the Clean Water Act and establish other environmental protection measures. James Taylor has been selected to receive a 1995 honorary Doctor of Music degree from our college for his significant contributions to the direction of popular music, his social consciousness, and for the joy he has brought to many millions of listeners worldwide through his special musical talents. Please join me in congratulating James Taylor.
Thank you. I'm a man of few words, but I repeat them over and over again. Words fail me, actually. This is it's a wonderful thing on a beautiful day. This is very moving validation and acknowledgement. I can't really encompass it. I want to thank you all, congratulate you all again. And my, thank you.
There will be a brief pause in the ceremony for a taking of the official picture in front of the Berkeley Commencement 1995 banner. Yeah, I see it.